What is now?
Red light's on, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hello folks, welcome to the second of the apple tasting videos for the 2022-2023 season. We've got another, well, how many have we got? Is it just the 12?
I think it's just the 12 today.
Yeah.
We've got not the earlies, these are, well, it's the last of the earlies and some of the mid-season apples. Everything is ripening a little bit quicker than normal because of the very hot summer that we've had and lack of water. But some of the later apples are actually coming through quite nicely. They're full size, flavours are okay, even though they are somewhat early.
Okay.
First one at the top is a red fleshed apple. They're both the same on there.
Okay.
This is Malice Geneva. This is an apple I got from a friend in Germany.
It looks nice inside.
Yeah, you can see it's a nice red colour there. Great for pies, this is. I won't give you the bit with all the skin on it. There you go.
Thank you, Nigel.
Yeah, this is, as I say, very good for cooking. I've not eaten it raw for a long time. A lot of these red fleshed apples are a bit astringent, but this one seems quite good.
But the skin's a bit tough, isn't it?
Yeah, skin's a bit tough, and the texture is a slightly...
Texture's different. It's
a little bit soft. That's not always a disadvantage. As you know, if you've got false teeth, it could actually be an advantage. That's not too bad. I couldn't rate it really highly, could you? Like
No, I would. I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Yeah, it's certainly more than a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And the appearance is very nice. Right, I'll put that back up there. That can go in there. And the second one is a much smaller apple. This is George's Red that we discovered on a parish boundary in Roundbush in Essex some years ago. And again, you can see it's got nice colour.
It's beautiful.
The original tree was in a very bad condition and we were asked if we could preserve the variety. And the flavour is a bit variable. Sometimes, some years it's very good, some years it's not. A bit more? This again is quite soft. The skin is not as tough as in the last one. And the flavour is slightly different. It's a little bit milder, a little bit hint of strawberry possibly. The hint of something there.
Nice apple. Nice tasting.
That's good. I think
I'm going to give it a 4.
Yeah, it's better than the other one. It's a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with you at 4. I could easily eat a whole 1 or 2 of those.
Yeah.
It has crimson blossom, which is very eye-catching. The next one is a commercial apple. This is bred in Switzerland by a guy called Marcus Cobalt, and he works for Lubera, or owns Lubera nurseries, and this is a red-fleshed apple that he has started selling. It's called Redlove Serena.
This is new to us then, isn't it?
I don't think we've had it in a tasting before.
Don't recognise the name.
We might have had a taste of it, but I don't think we filmed it before.
No.
Quite a nice colouring again inside, quite nice and red. I think this is probably his one of his best red-fleshed apples. It's similar.
Superb, that is.
Yeah, it's quite soft again, but it is better than the other two. That's at least a 4.5, possibly even a 5. It's really,
Yeah, I'm giving it a 5.
that's really good.
Yeah, really. I think we
Bit
need
more.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's sweet. It's got a
Yeah.
nice balance.
Looks lovely.
Yes, it really does, and it's the skin is very thin. This is a very good apple. Yeah, it's a 5. Excellent apple.
That certainly is.
Oh, where's the? Oh, it's that one, isn't it? There we go. Yet another red-fleshed apple here. This is called Schneiderchen, which is German for snow white, I am told.
Now you can tell when you're cutting that it's a lot more firmer.
Oh yeah, you could hear it, couldn't
Yeah,
you? Yeah, very firm apple. You can see the colour. Look at that. I hope that I hope that the taste is as good as the colour. There you go. I guess it would cook really well, and you could put it in fruit salads and things like that. Very strong flavour. It's quite tart, isn't it? I don't think I could eat a whole one of those.
No. It's got an aftertaste as well.
It has, hasn't it? It's slightly. The aftertaste is slightly bitter, a little bit bitter. That would probably cook very well though. But I won't be eating any of those raw. I couldn't.
I would give it a 3 myself.
Yeah, I think I'll give it well, even a 2.5.
Right.
Though it, as I say, cooking would probably be good. This one is very relevant at the moment with the events in the royal family. This is Prince Charles, this apple. Prince Charles. Oh, let's get rid of the bit with the skin on it. We don't want to give you that. There we go. This is a Leicestershire apple which was raised in Burbage about 1940s, I think. Quite a popular Leicestershire apple at one time. Sweet, nicely balanced. Very pleasant.
It's gorgeous. Can't find fault with that either.
Yeah, I think that's a 5. Yeah. It's a lovely apple. Oh, we're getting some higher scores than last time. These mid-season apples seem to be ripening better. Oh, hold on, it's that one first.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. We've got two that look quite the same. Now, these are...
Oh, that's because you haven't put it back.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I got mixed up. Now, these two apples, we've got this and the next choice, are actually quite similar. We've got Mott's Pink here, which is from America. And we've got Peach Melba here, which is actually from Ireland. The original tree came over from Ireland to England about 1930. They're both quite strange appearance. They're yellow skinned, but you can see pink underneath. And you can see yet again it's red inside. Very attractive flavour usually. There we go. Peach Melba seems to be a healthier tree for the Midlands. Mott's Pink attracts all sorts of pests. Nice sweet flavour, a little bit of acid. It's not bitter. What do you do with the skin?
I think I'm just going to give that a 3, you know.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it
Well,
3.
maybe you try another little bit just
Yeah,
to...
I think it's about a 3.5 for me. It's quite good, but it's more noteworthy for the appearance than the flavour, I think. Certainly this year. No, no, 4. I'm giving it a 4.
I think that's got great potential. But for me, there is a bit of aftertaste with it, which spoils it.
Okay, you give it 3.5 or 3?
3.5. I'm going to give it 3.5. Yeah.
Okay. It hasn't grown to its correct size this year. I think it's suffered somewhat from the lack of water. This one seems to have coped better with the weather that we've had. Lovely colour again, as you can see. They have very similar blossom. The Mott's pink is pink blossom, and this one here is very pale pink. But the noteworthy thing about the blossom is it's crinkled. It's got a crinkly gene in it, which is very unusual. It tastes fairly similar to the last one. But not quite as sweet. Want a bit more?
Yeah, I'll try.
How does it compare for flavour for you with the other one? I don't think it's quite as good. Not for me, anyway.
To me, it's a touch better. It's not got that aftertaste.
That's interesting. I can't distinguish the flavours very well.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a 4.
Okay, yeah, I'm giving it a 3.5. Strange how perception's slightly different between different people. But it's a lovely apple.
Yeah.
And it would probably sweeten up a little bit. It seems to be about a week later than Mott's Pink, so it's possibly not an entirely fair comparison because it might not be quite as ripe. But if they're still good, we can possibly try that again in the next tasting. This one is an apple from Surfleet. We used to call it Surfleet Sour, but we found actually that the person that highlighted the tree in a hedge was picking them too early, and it's not sour at all if you pick it at the right time. But it does seem to be ripening earlier this year. Surfleet is in Lincolnshire, I think. Very flat around there. It's quite firm.
Very firm.
Yeah, perhaps a bit too firm. A little bit acidic too. I'm not sure it's fully ripe. Flavour not bad, but I think I can only give it a 3.
I'll give that a 2.5.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, again, it might be worth revisiting that if they hang on the tree for long enough. I don't think it's quite ready. This is the trouble when you try lots of apples that are rather unfamiliar. It's difficult to know when they're ripe. Right, this one is Claygate Pearmain. This is an apple that comes from Claygate in, I think it's in Surrey. Yeah, let's go for the red side of the apple. That's usually a little bit sweeter. Okay, and that's quite firm. And for me, it's better than the last one. And the skin isn't quite as tough. Want a bit more, do you?
No, not for me. I'm going to give it the same 2.5. It's nothing.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 3. I don't think it's quite ready. But the fruit were very loose on the tree. They're all coming off, so I'm not sure it's going to ripen any more this year. Thank you. This one is an apple that has been known since the 1700s. It's Tom Putt, a cider apple and eating apple that comes from, I'm not exactly sure where it is, but it's either Dorset or what's the other county next to it? Devon or Dorset. The fact it's been used in cider means it's quite sharp sometimes. It looks quite attractive. Nice red colour there, look.
It's a soft apple.
Yeah, it is soft. Quite sweet. Oh, it's a bit bitter aftertaste. Can you get that? Now for cider that's good because you want a little bit of tannin in the cider, and that's what the bitterness is caused by. But for an eating apple it's not an advantage.
2.5 for me.
Yeah, 3 for me I think. A lot of people have enthused about Tom Putt as an apple, but I don't really understand why. I've not really rated it that highly for years. This little apple is one that we have seen before. It's quite early. It's known as Almata, and it's a small red-fleshed apple. There we go. When it gets ripe, it's quite soft. It has spectacular red blossom, and these were picked yesterday. Just try another one to see if it's just as soft. When you pick these, they go off in about 24 hours, so there's no shelf life at all. Just like Leicestershire sweetings, you have to really eat it on the day that you pick it. I like that. I'd give it a 4. Very sweet, but rather soft for most people's tastes, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 4 as well.
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing would be letting that down is its size.
Yeah.
You would need quite a few, wouldn't you?
Yes, you would, and no matter how you grow the tree, it doesn't get any bigger than that, which is a bit of a shame. And the last one we have is one that we saw last week. Now, well, the last tasting, perhaps 10 days ago, it's Laxton's Fortune, and Laxton's Fortune last week, it was pretty good. In fact, we scored it at 5 each, but it wasn't in pristine condition because it had ripened too quickly. I'm hoping this looks absolutely right for Laxton's Fortune, straight off the tree this morning, and I'm hoping it's even better than it was last time. There you go. Bit more? What do you reckon? It's a better apple because the one we had last week was a bit blotchy and not quite ripened properly. I don't think the flavour's any better.
I think it's just the skin that's not quite.
The skin is not quite as tender as last time, is it?
No. Taste is lovely, especially if you take the skin off. I'm going to give it a 4.5 this time.
I'm still going to give it a 5. What you say about the skin is right, but it's not, to me, it's not objectionable. And Laxton's Fortune, as I've said before, one of our favourite apples. If you are looking for just one apple tree to put in a garden, that ought to be on your list of possibles. It's really a first-class apple for most situations. And usually it's right between first week in September up to about mid-October. Anything else you'd like to add, Julie?
Well, it's interesting to see the scores this week and how many red fleshed apples gave quite high scores as well.
Yeah, they did. We've got Geneva, the red fleshed ones. Geneva got 7, George's Red was 8, Redlove Serena was 10, Mott's Pink and Peach Melba was 7.5 each, and Almata was 8. So they scored pretty well, the red fleshed.
Yeah.
Because as a class, they tend to be not quite as good if you're just looking at the flavour.
Yeah. Yeah, there were some lovely tasting ones there for me.
Okay. Let's hope that gets onto that's clear on
Yeah,
the camera.
that's clear.
Okay, well I hope that was interesting for you. We hope to be back again in probably a week to 10 days. The season is working through very quickly now because the apples are ripening too soon, slightly too soon. But we hope to have another 12 or so next time, fairly soon.
Okay.
Thanks for
Thanks
watching.
for watching, folks.